Hello, this is MrYellowGiraffe, and this is a video that's going to be a bit different than my normal stuff. My friend and I are I'm basically going through and ranking all of the different armor on champions from League of Legends. I had fun doing this, but also, at least right now, I'm not the best judge of that. I have been up for 23 hours trying to fix my sleep schedule. But yeah, hopefully you enjoy this. Also, I'm almost done getting the next hardcore video uploaded, so that should be crossing my fingers by the end of the month. So, Aatrox, I've already got him pulled up. The armor...
Does he really have armor?
Here's his in-game stuff. It looks like he had armor. And it's not really there anymore. It looks like he just burst out of it and grew over most of it. You know?
Yeah.
So... I'd say it could be worse. But it's not really armor. He's got
He's got, like, lots of himself, like, just hanging out, though.
He does.
If I wanted to stab him, I think I could.
Yeah, exactly.
All other things ignored.
Exactly. I do feel like with the armor that's there, it feels like there probably used to be armor that's just not there anymore. And also, I am taking weapons into account for this. That's a pretty good looking weapon, although it's the crossguard being pointed back and the thickness and everything going on with this. Not great, but it's better than I've seen. I've seen worse.
So you don't think the actual Aatrox is that bad as a weapon?
No, I've seen worse.
Huh.
Specifically in fantasy shit.
Aatrox just has, like, the female fantasy armor on.
Basically. So I'm gonna put that in could be worse, because there is armor and it does look purposefully placed and everything. I don't think I wears armor.
I don't think so. It's an 8.
Yeah, that's just not armor. There's Kali.
I don't believe so either, no.
Yeah, no, that's not armor. That's not armor. Does auction? Is auction armored? No. Is Aphelios armored?
PH.
That's what I was going for. I just typed PA.
Okay.
That image has no resolution. See, it's hard to tell.
Look at the model.
This looks like it could be.
It looks like a necklace.
That does just look like a necklace. Also, that looks
like
Netflix. A Netflix, definitely. Yeah, that just looks like clothes. That's not armor.
Ashe does not wear armor.
I think she does. Got gauntlets. But yeah, that's not. And pauldrons. Got gauntlets and pauldrons. These are skins. Is it gauntlet? That's cloth. Pauldrons are probably also cloth. Yeah, not wearing armor. Asol? Does Ace... Okay.
Discuss, like, the viability of armor.
Would we call this armor?
I mean, it's like wrist bracers and a crown.
So no. See, I would say this is decent armor. In porcelain.
It's probably made out of porcelain, though. How would you feel about...
Well, as someone who does pottery, yeah, that wouldn't work.
Really?
Especially with porcelain, just the making it process horrible. I have been told that throwing porcelain feels like working with cream cheese, and I found someone who threw cream cheese and said this feels exactly like walking with porcelain.
Kind of makes me want to work with porcelain.
See, but imagine it's spinning on a plate and you're sculpting it.
I might want to eat it.
A zeal. First off, amazing skin. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Okay. First off, this spear, very unpractical.
Is it the fact that the head of it would just immediately fall off?
Yeah, and the fact that this isn't really doing anything, and there's a lot of weight here. It doesn't need to be.
I see.
Very good show spear, bad fighting spear. But the armor. I think that the armor is fairly good.
He's got his face covered.
He's got his face covered. He doesn't
Can you
have
pull up the model?
He doesn't have any giant open areas.
Do you think he got those shoes custom made?
Probably. He's a bard. And he was also an emperor. It's probably all custom made.
What about the soldiers? Do they have armor?
I don't know.
Do we need to deduct points for his sand soldiers, for his little guys?
Though not as well armored. Mostly they don't have chest pieces.
What about the shield guy?
Oh, yeah, okay. Is that the same model?
They look similar.
So,
I believe so.
Okay. Great armor. Shield, really good. It looks like his, midriff is just completely uncovered. But that could also be, that could also be this, which was
Why
a
is that
real
a thing?
Okay, so basically, the Greeks and Romans. This is mostly like a oleal thing. Like, you'd get this if you had more money because it was a solid piece thing. You'd basically get it more defensible than like the normal Roman armor, which in stuff, which is basically segmented plates. It's this segmentata. It's this stuff. You can like dent that and stuff fairly easily. So basically, they wore it as a display of manliness and masculinity, similar to card pieces in medieval Europe. But the big question is, do we think that's what this guy is wearing?
I don't think so.
So he's just got his whole midsection exposed. That would knock him points.
Man, I could not be a warrior back in the olden days. I would be bricked up the entire time.
Okay. Azil is fully covered. He is good. I would say amazing armor on Azil.
Pop off his ear.
Bard. That's not armor, that's just clothing. Just all of it is clothing. See, Blitzcrank.
He is kind of armor.
See, that's the thing. He is kind of armor. But also, from a robot standpoint, he is so poorly designed.
He looks like he's made out of scrap metal.
He does. But also, he's so top-heavy that he wouldn't really be able to do anything if he was a real robot.
He'd just topple over.
He would just kind of topple over. Armor-wise, well armored. Bryant is barely even wearing clothes. Bomb, just for the shield, I'd put him in well-designed, but he's not wearing armor. Quirky. That looks like an armored helmet. I'd say he's at least wearing armor because of the helmet.
I'll give it.
Yeah,
we can place Corky. How would he fare up in battle against Azir and Blitzcrank? And Aatrox?
He's wearing a helmet and nothing else. And he's flying a plane, and the helmet has a little spike on. See, this helmet looks very reminiscent of German, I believe, World War I helmets.
I see.
You see this helmet, Toby?
I do see that helmet, yeah.
You see that helmet, Toby?
Yeah. Yeah.
He does also have a red Baron skin.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I know what side he would have chosen in that fight. And the next one.
Specifically the next one.
Darius.
Darius actually has armor,
He
so
does.
I'm excited for this one.
Okay, first off, no helmet. That deducts a few points. Helmets are very important.
He's got to protect that thick skull of his.
Yes. The shoulders are way oversized. Like, everything on this feels a bit oversized on him.
Dare I make a comment about compensation?
You could. The breastplate feels very well designed. I like the angularness of it. And he's got the collar in the front piece, which would stop blows from glancing up and into his throat, which is a very nice touch.
I feel like he'd smack his head on those shoulders.
On the shoulders, yes. That's what helmets are for. And normally you'd have pieces on the side that stops them from doing that, but still, that's also what helmets are for. It does look like he has the notches cut out for his arms while he's swinging.
He's also got big spikes on his legs that I feel like would get in the way.
He does. Those, the spikes, not the best. They're kind of useless.
How do you feel about his axe?
I like the axe. It's pretty good. It's ridiculously oversized. But having an axe head on one side, having a pick on the other with a sharpened blade on it, a little bit weird. But I could see it being used by someone. That's fine. My big issue with him, you could easily get like arrows in now. He doesn't use he doesn't have a helmet, he doesn't have a shield, and he's got open segments of his armor where you can see his vital muscle glue, like his vital tendons in his elbows.
Darius is hard countered by Ashe.
If he takes an arrow to the elbow, there's nothing you can do at that point. He couldn't lift his axe. Much less if he took one to the neck. Or face. I'd say
Could be worse.
I'd say it's well designed if you plugged the gaps, basically. Could be worse. It is below Aatrox. It is above Aatrox, though. Like, he is so close to being well designed for the armor. Though it feels like there was actual effort put into designing his armor. Okay, Diana.
Sir, if she has armor.
I'd say there's armor, though. That gauntlets, the greaves, pauldrons.
How's she shaping up?
Yeah, you could just stab her. That's cloth. You can just stab her in the chest. That's not armor.
Gotta fit her form, Sam.
Not even trying above Quirky. Mundo? Mundo does not wear armor. This fucker, what's his name? Draven.
Welcome to the League of Draven.
Okay. Looking at this. That looks like an armor piece. That looks like an armor piece. That does
look like an armor piece.
That looks stupid.
He's like a gladiator, I think.
Yeah. He's got armor. This looks, in here a lot more, it looks like it could be armor. In here, I can't really tell. But he is not well armored, if anything.
Not like parts of his chest hanging out.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
He's the one. Ezreal. Does Ezreal armor?
He might have a useless pauldron.
So he's got the gauntlet. There's like active lore behind that gauntlet and why he wears it. So they didn't just uselessly give him a gauntlet, which makes it better. But that he's not wearing armor. Fiddlestick does not have armor. Fiora. I spelled this horribly on. Okay. Sword, very nice. Like the sword. That's why? Why does it look like she's got a flying saucer?
Looks like a genie's lamp.
Why? Having the armor, having this armored arm, I very much like. She's styled in what looks to be like trying to replicate fencing clothing.
Yeah, she's like the duelist.
She looks like she's wearing this stuff. Like it's kind of
beekeeping clothes.
They're different than beekeeping clothes.
They look very similar.
They do beekeeping clothes, like you put them on in a different order and stuff like that. They are different. From someone who has worn both, they are different. I like
Both of them are meant to prevent you from getting stabbed.
Yeah, but by very different things.
So fencing clothes could stop you from being stabbed by a bee, though.
Yes, but they have, like, yes. They could.
Good. I'm
Preferably
gonna wear beekeeping clothes to a fencing match.
Preferably in either situation, you would probably just want an actual game person, though. I like that. I like the design elements of that. This, for that reason, I would be willing to call this armor, even though it's also clothes. Having this well-armored arm, forwards and everything makes sense if you're like fencing and everything. Well-protected hand. Not having a helmet. Video game characters never have helmets. That's fine. This is useless. This is just adding weight for no reason. Why is it there? It's just so useless. There's good design work there. If you keep with the styling of it, maybe just armor this arm the same way you armored this one.
Don't give her the useless fucking shoulder pad.
Exactly. Or just say no armor on this arm. This armor and fencing stays behind you, like, the entire time. It doesn't need to be armored. Also, helmets. Helmets. Fizz does not wear armor. Galio is a lock. This is a lock. It's a statue of armor. It's a statue of some nice armor, but it's a statue of armor.
So, are we counting it, or?
It's a statue of armor. It's better armor than Blitzcrank. But it's still a statue. Does Gangplank wear armor? No.
He's a pirate.
Galen has armor. What is this image? Why is this image? I don't like that image. I'm gonna block that image when I put this on YouTube. This is official art, right? Yeah, that's official art. I like this armor. Needs a helmet. But I like this armor. Very overdone shoulders. I can look past. That's a common fantasy thing. I can look past that. This armor is so nice.
Do you think this is gonna be your favorite?
Yeah, like, currently, this is above Azil's. Azil, there's some kind of wonky proportioning, very elongated chest that's really thin.
He is a sandbird.
He is a sandbird creature.
Garen is just a guy.
Garen is
nice
a guy
armor.
in some nice armor. That is some nice armor. Biggest thing I would say.
Smaller shoulders.
Bigger head in this image. Bigger head. It looks like you shrunk it. This is a more normal. With this image, I would say, honestly, gauntlets and a helmet. Get some nice gauntlets. No, I don't want shopping. Get him some nice gauntlets like this.
Metal mittens.
Hell, even get him some gauntlets like this. That would protect his hands more than the gloves he's in. It would go nicely with his armor. Still, 9 out of 10.
Pop off, Garen.
Does not wear armor. Does not wear armor. You. What's your name?
Graves.
They don't think there's armor here.
He's just got clothes.
He's just clothes. Gwen does not wear armor. Heckle him. I like this armor. From both a design perspective and a actual armor perspective.
He's got a lot of his, like, midsection just out,
does.
Though.
That I don't like from an actual armor perspective. What is armored, I like. What isn't armored, I don't like about that. But from a design perspective, it is very nice at giving the illusion of everything with itself together. It's not great armor. But it is great design. It is just very nice looking.
How do you feel about the weapon?
I like the glaive. I like the glaive just because he's got a glaive. This image shows it better. This part is stupid.
It looks like it would break off.
It does, but also it very much does remind me of an Egyptian khopesh. It very much reminds me of if an Egyptian khopesh was turned into a glaive.
It looks like that reminds me of Diana's weapon.
This is Diana's weapon, Toby.
Oh,
This
that
literally
makes sense.
is Diana's weapon. It is literally Diana's weapon.
I see.
So, the idea of putting that onto a glaive makes it a poleaxe, which is also a cool concept, to turn a glaive into a poleaxe, because that kind of, the khopesh was very good at hacking into things. I don't think his weapon particularly would be functional, but it's cool as an idea. Also, that is just a striking silhouette that he has.
Design standpoint, it's very interesting
Yes.
too, because it's kind of giving like jousting.
It does give a lot of jousting energy. Now, for jousting, I would say it's worse. Because for jousting...
Not really gonna knock you off.
Obviously not. For jousting, obviously you want a shield to protect yourself. You would want your weapon to have a weight back here, so you could grip it as far back as possible, giving you as much room up here to, like, hit with. The curve would be also bad for that. But also, those are eye holes and a big mouth hole in his helmet.
Mm-hmm.
In jousting, if your lance breaks, where would it be bad for those broken up to like 6-inch shards of wood to go?
You know, I have a feeling I know.
Your face. Yeah. Jarvan. He does wear armor. It is very stupid looking.
Cute pie.
Like, he's got the full coverage, but also there's just so many spikes they would get caught on things.
Pull up his model. Let's look.
It seems too decorative to really be good. I'm putting it here.
Could be worse?
No, it's well designed. Like, from an armor perspective, he's getting full coverage. He's got a helmet. But it's just... it's too much, you know? It's just too much. I'm trying to get zoomed in on his face as I can. Yeah, I'm gonna put him below Darius down here. Jax, I don't think Jax was more. Yeah, that's not armor. Okay.
You say that like you have opinions.
This is armor.
Is it?
He has a full breastplate.
It's like cloth, but also I'm exhausted, so...
It's a full breastplate, and he's got a full armored arm. There's metal down here, Toby.
Okay.
That is a breastplate. It is so stupid. That the shoulder, that's just bad. I also just don't like his model. bad.
Like Sid the Sloth.
What?
What?
Oh, it does not have armor.
Am I wrong?
No, does not have armor. Does not have armor. Callista. Ooh. Okay, first off, this makes sense. There's a point where she would have been stabbed.
She has a helmet.
She does have a helmet, which is really nice. Arms are unarmored, that's fine. Her torso is well armored. Stomach does not look to be well armored, though.
Look at the model.
You have vital organs, though.
I don't think she does.
I don't think she does. People do. But I do like the idea of like a person with javelins and everything. It's very low. The armor is very Romanesque. Not in the same way that like cathedrals and stuff were, but this skin. This is like peak armor design. I love this. Just like does not look. That looks like fabric. I'm gonna be honest. But the rest of that is just peak armor.
You've got to have it be fabric-y so it can be skin tight on the woman.
I disagree with that. I like this though. Well designed, lower than hers though. It's above her. It's above her. You know what? You know what? Though. I think that's a better rankings so far.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say this is better. Karma does not wear armor. I'm 90% sure about that, but I don't care about looking it up. Oh, what's this fucker's name?
Carthus.
Carthus. That's armor. From here up, and from here down. In either way, it's not great.
Not even trying.
I'm conflicted here. This is armor. This is armor. This is not armor.
It's fan service.
It is. And that's stupid. Right. She's going down here for fan service.
Oh my god.
Kane's not in armor.
Leona wears armor.
Leona wears armor. Leona wears some decent armor. That's some decent armor.
Needs a new splash art.
Leona very much so needs a new splash art. That does not look very good.
So stupid looking.
I would say top of well designed.
I'll agree with you.
Lilia does not wear armor. Leandra.
Lysandra.
That's not armor.
That is not armor.
Lucian.
I don't think he wears armor.
I would not. I don't think I'd call that armor. It does look like metal, though.
I wouldn't call it armor.
Okay. See, yeah, he does wear armor.
He has a pauldron, right?
He has a pauldron. He has more armor down here. He's got a weird helmet. In this, he's got more armor. Do we look at the splash art? Do we look at the in-game model for Master Yi?
We look at both of them for everyone.
But see, this very clearly, what I would say,
looks like fabric.
Looks like fabric with a
Very
little bit
thin
of armor.
Shein fabric, specifically.
Yes. This looks like a techno wizard with a sword.
Bro, just put him in, like, toy car. Not even trying.
Problem is, he is trying, he's just failing that badly. Not in armor, not in armor. Wood.
The one who started this question.
The one who started this pundry. I like Maud's armor from a design perspective. I like it more than Hecklem's armor. It shows a lot of visual elements, which I like. The thing is, it's not also trying to be a horse. And that gives it points.
Pull up the splash.
This is the splash.
Or not the splash, the model.
This is the model. Now, this seems very hollow, and it seems like you would want, like, something under there because you wouldn't want to get stabbed there. Same with the ribs. Which that is just a rib cage. The big thing I would say with this, that's bad from an armor perspective, that's really nice from a storytelling perspective. Like, the same reasons as with Hecklem. I'm assuming if he weren't a corpse in armor, he'd have sleeves.
And not have his ribs hanging out?
Now, there is something I want to look at this. This is Maud's Legends of Runeterra design. I think this is a nicer suit of armor.
He also looks less like soup.
But also, this isn't as protective.
It does seem like it's covering less.
It is covering less of him. Which, from a design perspective, I get it. This much newer suit of armor look. Much nicer visual design in cohesion with the rest of Noxus. He looks like a watery boy, though. And I don't think that fits Maud. No armor. Nami does wear armor.
She?
I think so.
Nami.
Sorry to whoever you are. That's a helmet.
Not even trying.
That's a helmet. That's a fish. Nasus. Well armored right here. This area of him and his arms well armored. The rest of him not very much. He's got the same problem of not really having. He's got a midriff. And in here it's boss. Also,
yeah.
His model's just so old.
Give Nasus a new model. We don't need 6 new characters. Fix the ones you have.
Nautilus, I can just, without even looking, that's some nice armor. It's full coverage. It's well articulated. It's not actually trying to be armor, that's why it's not amazing armor. It's trying to be a dive suit.
Valid. Where would you put it if we were ranking based off of dive suits?
Top. Definitely the top. Nico does not wear armor, but gets an arbitrary top of not wearing armor on the virtue of she could be any of these people.
She could be wearing armor.
Oriana does not wear armor.
She's metal.
She's metal, but she's floating and missing sections because of that, and she's also very thin metal. Like,
I'm just saying,
like,
if we're ranking Blitzcrank, I think she deserves a check over too.
This is barely... Like, Blitzcrank gets up here not just because of him being fully metal. It's the fact that looks like some thick metal that it wouldn't be easy to break. This looks so fragile.
She has a skirt.
Yeah.
She can twirl.
Yes. That's not a bonus in armor, though. Skirts are fine. Skirts are all a thing in armor. That is not, though.
How would you rate the ball?
8 out of 10 companion cubes. So I because of that, not even trying, but because we all like Pantheon.
He doesn't have a shirt, but he does have a helmet.
Pantheon.
Look at his build.
Pantheon. Amazing helmet. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 shield. 11 out of 10 spiel. That's a nice spiel. What the fuck is all of this?
You don't need clothes when you just win because you're god.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at the breastplate he could have had.
Strike without warning.
It's just goofy looking.
Pantheon deserved clothes.
He deserved clothes. Does the next person have what's her name?
Poppy.
I'd say that's armor.
Certainly, like, padded.
Yeah. Cloth armor was a thing. That is ampersand.
She seems very well covered.
Honestly, that's decent armor. I'm not looking at this for it. That's just barely a character. Honestly speaking,
she's the better of the hammer havers.
Yeah. Honestly. Oamus. He's a whale armor. But he is an armored. He is the armadillo. That is his title.
He wouldn't roll particularly well with the spikes on him.
He wouldn't. Lexi does not wear armor.
That is a bug.
But is a bug. Wow. This thing is a basilisk, right? That's stated?
It's a horse.
Yeah, but I heard somewhere that it was a basilisk or something like that. Also, it is literally made of metal that she is controlling. I'm pretty sure.
Does it count as armor?
The horse, 10 out of 10. Well, is not wearing armor.
She gets armor when she dismounts if you look at the...
See, but that is the horse, Tabby. That's the horse. That's why I'm saying it's a metal construct that she's controlling. It's hollow, and she wears it.
I'm just saying, I think that seems pretty effective, other than the fact that her one arm is missing something, and she'd probably topple over because of the head.
You know? Definition of a horse skull. Ornata glass does not wear armor. Sejuani, I think, just wears a helmet. That's I came up with. Got the answer. Okay, that's not bad armor. You know what? That's pretty good. Shen does wear armor. I think. Yeah, that is armor. It's armor with some decent coverage, actually.
He's a ninja.
He is, but he's an armored ninja. You know what? That could be worse. Why are some of you in? You should not be here. 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 Could be worse. I'd say better than Rengar. Shyvana, I don't think actually was armor. There was a lot.
She has scale mail.
Above Chase. Singed does not armor. This thing doesn't really. He's just a furnace. That's not armor.
You call Scion this thing?
Yeah. Trundle doesn't wear armor. He barely wears a shirt, but calls it armor.
Not even trying.
Does not wear armor. Is a rat. Does not wear armor. Unfortunately, he's not even trying, and it could be worse. Does not wear armor. Does not wear armor. Does not wear armor. Is an eyeball. Doesn't wear armor. Vi doesn't wear armor, does she? No.
I think Vi has armor.
Yeah, that's armor. I think that's could be worse. I'm gonna switch these two around. Viego isn't wearing armor. Old him, I'd put like someone here. New him isn't wearing armor. No armor.
Well, that is very clearly old him.
That is, but this is also old Skarnal. And I don't care. Old him isn't getting liked. Xin Zhao. How do I spell his name?
I believe.
What is it?
Xin, I think. Yep.
That is armor. Yasuo.
What about his pauldron, Sam?
He's got a pauldron. Zed wears armor, I believe.
I think so.
I'd say that's armor. That's actually
Zed's looking
fairly well.
Zed's
covered.
looking decked out.
Yeah.
He's got a helmet.
Huh? It's not armor.
That is goo.
That is goo. Mbessa.
Second best character in Arcane.
I'd say that's armor.
That's definitely armor.
Very open shoulders, which surprising, honestly. Very open head. It's just her fists, torso that's super well armored.
This is why you die.
Yeah. Not armor, not armor. And they also have new and old Teemo. So yeah, not armor and...
Beautiful.
Yeah, honestly. And this is all in order. Of the stuff, so...
What a wonderful list.